Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin.
Remember when you were 14, your dad taught you to shave. That wasn't a very fatherly way for him to behave. You had to watch your first beard floating down the drain. A beard abandoned, a son betrayed. Your dad taught you how. And look at you now. 'Cause if your dad doesn't have a beard, you've got two mums, two beardless mums. If your dad doesn't have a beard, you've got two mums, two beardless mums. Remember how he...
Well, that song is better than it has any right to be. Welcome, everybody. Look, we've got a Jerry.
Boogie,
Ah,
look how unhappy it is. Why?
yeah.
Fuck YouTube.
Hello, Demons Up, Hazy Boy, Crispin, Orinoco, Twitch, Soap, Dudgery, Danley, and David. Welcome on, welcome all. Nope. No shaving adverts on this channel. I think that would be a very counterproductive thing.
Yes, all the shaving is done by manscaping down below.
Everything upside the neck is bearded and hairy. The shaving happens.
Oh, I'm like a seal down below. Everything is slick, smooth,
Just to make it easier to oil them up.
oily.
Going all Greek wrestling.
Oh, yeah. No. What's the better one? Is it Turkish wrestling?
I think,
Yes, Turkish wrestling. Turkish wrestling is the one where you grease each other up and then you have to try and put your hand down the other guy's pants and put your finger up his bum. It's amazing. It's the most homoerotic sport ever.
But it's only played by men, manly men. In tights.
Well, manly men of the height of manliness who like to be oiled up, wrestling naked, and putting their hand down another man's jocks. So my brother's well up for it.
Oh, Demons Up, don't try to see the reflections in Jerry glasses. That could be very, very irritating. If you stare into the abyss will stare into you.
Well, you know, mostly what you're going to be seeing is what we're going to be looking at. So, Conans and stuff.
Yeah, we will be looking at stuff. At people's projects and poke fun at them. Sure. Yes?
The thing is, Crispin, I've got a light here. Because otherwise it's very dark on my face. And then I realised that, you know, if I put the light on, I'm blinded. So I put on a pair of sunglasses. Thinking, I could just move the light slightly so it wasn't just beaming straight into my eyes, but who could be arsed?
Also, that's way more cool.
I said to him, going, light. Went, sunglasses. There's one up here somewhere.
Well, happens to the best of us.
Oh, good old fuck up
slight-
man. He knows what he did.
Slight warning ahead of time.
Yes.
I was again today donating blood, so I might be lightheaded. Don't mind me.
As long as you're staying off that brown Hitler juice.
No, dear friend, we're drinking lemonade.
Oh, no, that's all right then.
Citrusy stuff.
Yeah. It's the brown that turns you weird, you old mugger.
You just say such nice things to me all the
It's
time.
true, though. Does that help?
Nope.
Am I less pale?
A bit. Now you look like you're on the tanning rack.
There you go. I'll come out looking like... I'm trying to remember his name. From Boondock Saints 2, All Saints Day. Anyway. He's all
Also,
tanned.
just for the YouTube algorithm.
He looks like when you put tomato sauce into a Tupperware container. He's so orange. What,
Also,
just for the YouTube algorithm? Or
yes,
go fuck yourself. You
fuck,
can't.
piss, shit, and all the other nice words we are usually not allowed to say.
Oh, no,
Go
you
and
always
wank
say them
yourself.
all the time. On the YouTubes.
Yeah. Hello, James, Mr. Stockwalls. A Coke with dash and lime and mint. Aren't we
Minty lime.
fancy?
King
Oh, don't you
Canute.
think I'm pale now? Wait, I can enhance that. How about now?
Enhance the paleness. It's like Gondor's lit the beacons.
See?
Right. Shall we kick things off? Shall we get this rude on the show?
That should be. Let's go ahead. Coffee and ginger nuts. Tasty.
Gingery nuts, nutty
Big
ginger.
Coney big.
What is best in life? 75mm models from Andrea. That is what is best in life. And by fuck, they have some stonglers. I've been looking at them for years going, I can't afford these. I have no need of these.
And now
I
you
might
want
buy
one.
some of these. No, I'm being very good, actually. However, I can live vicariously through Nightrunner, who has decided to dust off something from 20 odd years ago that's been kicking around. Barbarian 2, The Quickening.
The Barbarian. I remember there was a game on the C64 called The Barbarians,
Yeah, well,
where you had a
sense.
lot of fun decapitating other barbarians.
Battle Beyond the Stars is an amazing film. It's weirdly... No, because Battle Beyond the Stars is a remake of The Magnificent Seven. Right? My mind's playing tricks with me now. Is Robert Vaughn in both? Is he in the original Magnificent Seven and is he in the Battle of the Stars remake? I want to say yes.
I can't make.
I'll have to look that up, or somebody in the chat
Or
can
not.
just
The
tell
Twitch
me.
says yes, and Dandy says yes. So
Yeah, but you know, they may just be saying that it's better than Star Wars. It's not necessarily responding to me. John Boyd Watton in the testicle ship, I remember that, and then the three little greys who were like, you know, shared a hive mind. They were great. Anyway, yeah. So interesting bit of work. I particularly like the plinth, and an interesting little tip there, because obviously you have to build a lot of this up. Milliput was judiciously used to make it fit the top of the plinth, and then the plinth was all masked the fuck off so it could be painted and thus retain its lovely walnutty glow. But, you know, I have to say, Conan looks particularly good, especially standing there under the serpent, standard.
and the non-metal on the axe really kicks on.
I mean, if you're going to be doing a 54mm figure, you may as well break out all the techniques and really play around and see what you can do. Because why not?
Also, since this is most likely going to be a display piece, the usual lack of effect when looking from a different angle doesn't apply when this is in the cabinet.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just set up and away you go. It's an interesting bit of kit. I like it a lot.
I think the thing I like the most is you actually know where this is coming from, but at the same time the miniature doesn't look anything like Arnold, which is a plus.
Yeah, you say that. Is it because he's Austrian? Is your racism coming through there?
We have bad experience with those people.
I have to say, if you get the Lloyd shot of the work in progress before he sticks it on, the work on the leather and sort of, I don't know, his trues, essentially, the slash trues, that back shot, that really shows off some fucking exceptional work on it. I really like that.
Yeah, it's almost a shame that this is the side most people will never see.
Well, you know, you can be like that Italian sculptor and put a mirror behind it. Well, to be fair, he did that because the two halves of the statue were two different
I know
sculpts,
what statue you're referring to.
Yeah. Bloke on the front, woman on the back. That one.
Yes.
But that's no reason not to put... I mean, or maybe just have it constantly rotating so everybody can see the Lloyd. See the Lloyd.
Yeah, I really love this thing. And this is 20 years old?
Yeah, but you're thinking 20 years ago was like the 80s or 70s, because 10 years ago was 1990. Yeah. Now, to be fair, the sculpt for that is probably older than 20 years ago. Andrea have been doing large-scale figures for years, and they have a massive catalogue of stuff, some of which you can't get anymore, which is really upsetting. I realised recently they had a Warlords section, which was like 35 mil or 30, large 32s for fantasy. It was called Fantasy Warlords. They do them in 54 and 75 and 90 mil as well, but they had some really nice heroic character models in the wargaming size. That range is gone now. It just happened to be on the website about a week and a half ago, poking at it, going, maybe I should buy one of these. Oh, the fuck, they're all gone. All right, okay. Which is why you should always buy all the stuff all the time as soon as you see it, always.
I really love the fact that the stakes and the rubble mountain he's on is also all made metal.
Yep. Yeah, but still needed then the putt to fill it out across the base and to give something to stick the old stakers in. But yeah, it's just it's really nice display piece. It makes me want to, do some of mine, any of mine, start one of mine. Lesson.
You could do a project.
Nobody got time to upload. Are you fucking kidding me? Anyway, yeah, really like it.
Very
Cracking
nice
stuff
one,
from
Night
Night Run.
Runner. Really.
Yeah.
Also, 20 years is 1980 in my book, so
Yeah, again,
everybody who's telling me
10 years ago, we all knew this.
yeah. It's 2000 just happened. I still somewhere have this sticker. 31st of December 99. Please turn off your PC.
Yep. My ex at the time, her sister worked for the Prudential, and she was taken over to London to prepare for Y2K on an outrageous salary. Otherwise, all the planes would have fallen out of the sky.
And they did, as we all know.
Weirdly, her name was Andrea. So, just like the company, what Night Runners worked on there. We all come full circle, because this is all tightly scripted. Fuck, may as well use the rest of that.
When minis are old enough to drink, I think it's time to paint them.
What? It's an outrageous claim.
Well, what's next on our docket?
I'm going to be the bigger man here. And just plow on and not worry about anything you said. So, this is a young man, up and coming, fresh-faced.
Never heard of him.
This kid's going places. This young firebrand called Ludden, I'm going to assume. And he's working on
A tiny ship for Billion Suns.
a fighter for Billion Suns. That is correct. Tools in the middle of the deck are for scale, because he didn't have a banana handy.
No Banana Man, especially.
Well, that'll harden it. Currently, I believe 5'2", or about 155 centimeters in Roman Catholic. It's going to be a beast.
It's going to be interesting to
It's
see
gonna
him
be a
hauling
beast.
that thing around.
I imagine it's put on a trailer or hire a team of children to carry it from place to place.
I think that's the best possible way to do it.
Oh, look at that castle in the background. Look at
Yeah.
it. Majestic, thrusting, skyward. Oh, we're all there for that. But yeah, so obviously if you haven't been playing along, this is going to be not only a piece of terrain / fighter for Billion Suns, but also the board itself for playing. I think it was originally going to be Kill Team, but these days, and I don't know if Crispin has even looked at this, but boarding actions for the new boarding action game would make perfect sense.
Here's a conspiracy theory. Someone at GW saw this
Seen
build
this
and said, we needed to make a game out of this.
Make a game about boarding actions on a ship, because then all you do is put in
the walls,
tunnels, or tunnels and rooms. Essentially, build the interior like a dungeon crawl and do your corridor fighting with small scale, and it'd be perfect for that. Now, if you're in the House of Water, #BestHouse, you'll have seen that working on some additional gunnage for the upper and lower deck. Some of them are going to be on pintle mounts sweeping down, gantries overhanging. It's the insanity I love.
These
It's-
guns look like they come from some Titan.
I mean, Titans wish they had guns that size. I just love the sheer. I mean, everything's bigger in Texas is, I think, the old adage, and this young up and comer, this whippersnapper, is really showing off what the fuck you can do.
Yeah,
I mean, this kid's going places.
it's like we always make fun about 40k being over the top and mentally ill to a degree, but this is absolute insanity in its purest form.
Oh, it's beautiful. It is absolutely.
This goes around
unashamed
the insanity circle
nuttery.
and comes back from the other side.
It's all good. Yeah, so you have thought about boarding actions then. Ben, or I believe as his nickname is, fuck up Ben, he knows what he did. He was trying to sell us on boarding actions today for 40k gameplay videos. And Justin was going, oh yeah, I've got a Primaris force and John's got Imperial Guard. I'm going, I'm not putting 40k models on the table under camera. I've not got much in my
I've
life,
served
but-
my time.
but I've got some dignity left. So you kids, if you want to play boarding actions, you fucking do you. In the meantime, I'll be over here with these Greek-looking city-states warriors for conquest, doing my third Path of Conquest army, you pricks.
I somehow feel that this giant build
Look at
needs some kind of Easter egg, somewhere a small orc hanging on for dear life or something.
Don't, what? He's doing enough. You want him to start putting Easter eggs in for you? For
Yes.
God's sake. I just imagine somewhere on because I think the command deck is going to be riddled out again. I imagine there'll be just a picture of Ben on the screen in there or something.
Wanted posters all over the ship. It's all the face of Ben. Hello, Jill. Welcome. You just wandered into the insanity that is Crispin's mega build.
Yep. Yeah, it's fucking delightful. Some of the guns, weirdly, despite the fact that he's had to source guns from all over, at one point he found some guns to be the main gun batteries and had to scale them back because they were too big. I was like, what fucking guns were you attempting to print an actual cannon of some description?
Rail guns, all
Yeah.
of them.
Oh, could you imagine? But yeah,
At
look at that.
this size,
Even
actually,
the broadsides with all the turrets, top and bottom. It's cool.
at this size, the big guns could have been just nerfs from the toy shop.
Yeah, probably too expensive. Did you
Potentially.
did you manage to track down any EPVC, Crispin? That's polystyrene. I have EPVC here. Hang on. So cool. Because I've got that sheet styrene, which is obviously the hard stuff that you would get from like Evergreen or whatever, and is great for building models and stuff like ANATs and Lambda class shuttles if you want to put like Lego Technics inside it and cheat. But it's expensive and thin. This is EPVC, the expanded stuff, and it's much lighter comparatively. It's not as dense. It's softer. It's still fairly rigid, although there is bend in it, but you can, because the sheets are really big, it takes a lot of weight. It probably isn't as tough as MDF in the same size, but that's a 3mm rather than a 2mm. But I will say this, I think, is fucking great. Ordered 18 by 24 inches. Yeah. You will need to use, it won't use, or it doesn't work like the sheet styrene with polystyrene cement. It doesn't have the same effect, although I thought it would because it's the same fucking material, aerated. Something in there has changed the chemical chain. Anyway, just use standard CA glues, super glue to glue it. That'll be your weak point, weirdly. the glue points will be the weak point because obviously that's where they could snap. But if you're getting a 2-foot sheet, does that cover your upper deck? You can do it in layers then, and then put all the shit on top of it. I found a company over here that does 10 mil thick. They do 3 mil, 5 mil, 10 mil.
10 mil is a hefty size.
10 mil's a really good. It's used for sound printers and stuff. I've got the biggest I've had before because I have a lot of this. I want to say it's 2 mil, but it could be 3. Where's my? Let me get my. Yeah. Oh no, that is 3 mil. That means that must be 4 mil. The fuck, I get 4 mil. That's distracting me. Anyway, I've got 3 mil. I've had the 5 mil stuff from Mick. I've never had any 10 mil. Apparently they have stacks of the stuff and then somebody threw it in the bin. Well, they don't throw it in the bin. They have to take it away to be specifically dumped. So the sound writing guy likes to give it to Mick because then they don't have to pay for the wastage recycling collection type thing. So that's why Mick gets it, and then Mick brings it up, and then I go, this is fucking great, and everybody else at UTT Towers goes, Mick's bringing more of that white sheet again. What's he bringing more white sheet for? He's going, because it's really fucking great building material. Gimme.
Also, I think Crispin was going to make a golden throne, and it just put ban on it.
Oh, there's Mick there. Oh, does plumber solvent work for it? Weirdly, I have some somewhere for something else I was doing, but I hadn't tried it. Fuck me. No, I mean this stuff is cheap. I actually found a couple of people in England who sell it. The actual like plastics companies. Obviously, the cheapest way is for me just to get it from bugger off there. Big man. And then because I'm going to be doing some Adobe buildings and stuff for Mexico in the not too distant, using it because it's fucking great. For years I've used foam card and I've about fucking 60 quid's worth of foam card down there that I haven't used yet. And now I'm going, fuck the foam card. This stuff's great. Maybe I'll make the stuff out of foam card and give it to the studio and keep this. Yeah. Yeah, if you can go to the sound writers, Crispin, and get it from there, great. I do like the Ben picture. Oh, I got a new picture, Crispin. I'll put it in the House of Water, #besthouse, because I think you'll appreciate it.
A new Ben picture?
Well, not necessarily a Ben picture. I mean, I don't think anybody could have a Ben picture per se, but this is just, a picture, what like anybody could have.
Oh, okay.
That's well, obviously not people outside the best house. But check out that shiznay. Right. Anyway, so yes, we'll keep an eye on this this teenager. See how they get on as they get
upcoming youngster.
Yep.
So next is HeroQuest by Captain Aqua.
Now, I'm presuming you've included this because you love HeroQuest.
Indeed.
Well, say the old CA has fairly bashed a ton of stuff out.
Yeah, it's a lovely sight to see, especially the old miniatures.
Now, I don't know if we were here together before.
Yes, we were.
I was certainly here.
We
3
were
years ago now.
Yeah, it's sometime.
So it's nice that the minions are being shuffled off. So yeah, some of the rank and file. Chuck them up against the wall and see who gets barbarianized. Evilness coming your way.
And lovely big
presumably
pictures.
Some form of contrast / speed paint's being used for these as well.
Yeah, he said in the text that he used contrast paint, so fair enough. Get them done and out the door. Play more games.
I need to get a really big bit bugger off because I think I had one. And then I used it for something else. But my sub, I think I need a piece that's like 90 centimeters long because the sub is 78, and I need to have so I can set it all down and build up the waves around it, and then still collapse the sub out of it when I'm transporting it.
The zombies and the mummies, those aren't in the core set, are they?
Yeah, God, yeah. Have you not got them?
No.
You're going to have to go back to eBay and try and lay your hands on some zombies and mummies.
No, the core set only had skeletons and
Yes.
orcs and goblins. No mummies and no zombies.
Mummies, zombies, and Chaos Warriors, and the Gargoyle, and the Sorcerer. It was a one-stop shop.
Are
The
you sure
core
about
set,
that?
the core set did not contain ogres, because that was a separate set. And I'm trying to think what was in the other one.
I want to know. Hold on.
They were all definitely in the core set.
This is going to go horribly wrong now.
Big sheets, 4x3. Oh my god! Oh, I can only get so wrecked, Mick. Please stop. It's like he doesn't believe me, David. What was the point you spending all that money buying a copy and completing it just to not even know what's inside it?
I'm pretty sure I have checked and double checked, but then again,
You do drink an awful lot of that Hitler brown lemonade.
indeed.
Hitler.
Uh-oh.
Exactly. That is me 100%. I keep telling people, why not respond to my emails and you can have a magnificent yacht? And nobody responds to my emails for this magnificent yacht.
I bow to your wisdom. They're actually in the box.
Of course they're in the box. I just tell you. This relationship is not built on trust, clearly. It's all sexual tension.
Why would you trust me? 8 orcs, 6 goblins, 3 female, 4 chaos warriors, 1 chaos sorcerer, 1 gargoyle, 4 skeletons, 2 zombies, 2 mummies, and 4 heroes to be neglected.
There you go.
Yeah. See. But since I've got this box open now, I can put in the other miniatures I've forgotten to put in.
Oh, there you go. See,
Or rather, that came so
Now,
late that this thing has been put aside.
to be fair, we have brown lemonade here in Northern Ireland, where it is just lemonade that's brown. They have some sort of weird cola and Fanta mix left over from rationing, I think. And it just sends him loopy.
No, it doesn't.
The secret ingredient is cocaine.
Don't tell them. And it's not cocaine. It's just liquid Panzerschokolade.
The meth's giving off bubbles again. Anyway.
It's not like that.
Well, you do you. Anyway, it's interesting. Because I think that's fully painted now, which means he's got fully painted Hero Quest, and we know he has a camera because we've got pictures of the fully painted Hero Quest, which means there's no reason not to have a battle report of Hero Quest painted.
Yes, indeed.
Just saying. Look at me. Look at me. How can you look at me? Diabetic urine. Sweet. That's how you know. All I ever want is battle reports. Yes.
Why shouldn't we want a battle report?
I mean, if I ever got a chance to play games myself, I wouldn't need as many battle reports, but I rarely do. It's terrible.
Yeah, when people ask you to play, they ask you to play weird stuff like Games Workshop games.
Oh.
You feel dirty now, don't you?
I do. What's a good Psi Titan cannon in game? Oh.
How good is it? Sorry.
What do I mean by a Psi Titan? As in a psychic Titan?
Oh, Jake says he got a battle report for you. That's very not comforting.
I haven't looked at my who's done what recently because I haven't been doing the Hitler cast here. But what's going on here? Oh, that's all right. It's just Johan.
Yeah, so Captain Arquard has a fully painted set. Now get me some battle reports. Appease the giant squirrel.
Squirrel.
And also explain why the bases are different colors.
Because he wanted to. Fuck yeah. You're a picky bitch, aren't you? Aren't you, though?
Bit.
Why are the tiles different colours in some of the rooms? Chill up.
Because they want to fuck with me.
There you go then.
See? It's a big conspiracy. So where do we go next?
I think we'll take a look at some old school stuff on proper basis, like nature intended.
More old school.
It does make me feel good, Collins.
Dino Dot 1164.
Yeah.
Read old school square bases for Jerry. Isn't that a nice sentiment to have?
Well, I think so. You know, it's been a while, almost a year, in fact, since I was last here. Again, I don't know if we were here together, or if I was just.
I think I said I didn't see.
Right, so I was trolling the project system, looking for saplings.
Just look at this nice Jerry focus on the detailed shield work.
There's nothing. That is entirely in focus. Why do you think that's not in focus?
I didn't say it's not in focus. I said it's a Jerry focus.
I'm watching you.
I couldn't tell because you wear sunglasses.
Yep.
Weird person.
Like Bono.
As long as you don't start clapping now.
Every time I click my fingers, a child in Africa dies.
Stop, Great Ben, you wank!
Anyway, so a long time ago, during the lockdown times, they decided to dig out some old goblins and paint those up because they've been sitting around and they were looking to kick their heels and get through the lockdown, or I think it was the second or maybe the third or possibly the fifth lockdown, who knows. Anyway, so they started up this project, which is how I found them. Since then, the goblins were completed and they've moved on and added a whole host of other bits and pieces. So there was a kind of did a lot of work, had to go back to work, everything's paused, steady, which is a terrible crying shame, but it means we're now greeted by a whole host of new stuff. So a lot further down are 28mm, but it kicks off with some 15mm stuff. So old 15mm bombards and dragons and bits and pieces.
And they are just lovely.
Yeah. Really nice. I want to say Heartbreaker elves. I could be wrong, mind you.
But it looks like a broken heart on the shield, so you might be right. Oh,
Yeah, it's a heart with a little sparkle. Sparkle, sparkle.
pointy sticks.
Sparkly. But they are corking. And look. Filthy busies. The Cataphracts cavalry are really nice as well. I will say that.
Wolf Riders. Nice ones.
Look at that. Total War in all your incarnations prevented him from uploading these pictures since July. Shocking.
Well, at least he did something reasonable with his time.
Well, yeah. I suppose there is that. There is that. The like there you are there. The Cataphracts cavalry are fucking gorgeous.
Oh, they're slings. Now I can see.
Yeah, staff slings.
I thought they were just some weird people holding sticks and shouting, boogie, boogie, boogie.
You'd be surprised how much damage you can do with a staff sling at range.
It go boom.
You probably could. Or no go. I don't think any of us want to see that. don't know. Maybe Crispin does.
Well, I guess he could try to do that, but I'm pretty sure YouTube would flag that immediately.
What if he said he was a hot tub girl instead?
Well, that would be
He'd
Twitch.
probably get through then, wouldn't he?
He would
it's all
have
the
to
same.
use Twitch on that point.
Well, yeah, there's no difference. No difference between them. The Canon from way back in 2021. That dwarf Canon's lovely. It's not as nice as the classic Imperial dwarf Canon. You can't have everything. But even things like the stripy trousers on the cleaner there, or the rammer, are really well done and show a level of dedication that I just can't be arsed with these days.
And the amount of work he does on the muscles.
Yeah, the skin highlighting's really nice. Yeah. The musculature.
Yes.
So, look, there's somebody who looks like he actually has specific muscles in specific places and not just a minotaur's worth of muscles poured in a bag.
Yeah, this is a... Oh, is that a army shot? Let's see.
Some of his display cabinet stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's really nice. Yeah, the Cataphract and the Common Wolf Riders are lovely. I mean, it's all really nice. The first batch of goblins that they did in the very first lockdown, or second lockdown, or 15th lockdown, difficult to tell, were really, really nice. It was just like, bored at home, here's some stuff that's been sitting for a while, hammer the buggers out, and it was, it's great to see them.
Oh, he's a strong man if he used those colors.
Well, I'm impressed that when they opened the pot, they were still fluid, to be brutally honest, more than anything else.
Just look at these
You have to remember, they look like tiny bolter shells, so it doesn't matter that you're having to buy extra because they've all dried out. Because they look like bolter shells.
It's like the air gun they made that looked like a semi-bolter.
Oh, no, it looked like a flamer. Hang on,
flamer, yeah.
I've got one.
Oh, no. Why?
Why? Because I didn't want to put varnish through my good airbrush, and it was a $5.
Okay.
And you just went...
See, Games Workshop, this is how much I hate you.
This is how I will do my varnishing by the medium of this flamer. And if it clogs up, it can go in the bin. To be honest, these days I can't even be arsed plugging it in. I just use an airbrush for varnishing. At some point I will throw it in the bin. I know.
You could hand it to John and force him to use it on some project.
Lockdowns are like the DFS seal. They all run into one. I can't remember a time when DFS didn't have a seal. I was one at school. Your mum's so old, she went to DFS before they had any seals. That type of thing. Anyway, but yeah, it's really nice seeing proper square-based fantasy. It always tickles my fancy. It's great. It's good times. Good times.
Welcome, Nick. You didn't miss anything, almost. Nothing of value.
He says that. But he went off on one about Hero Quest not having any skeletons or zombies.
Maybe.
It's very confusing. Very confusing.
I'm old. What do you want from me?
That's true. That is very true.
We should go on to the next.
We should go on to the next one. Hands up who thinks Dino Rod's going to get a golden button for showing 15 mil dwarves to Ben, by the way. Just throw it out there.
Show of hands. Especially since you mentioned them. Oh, speaking of... he knows what he did.
He does know what he did. Fuck that guy. This must be why. Look, his 500-point Space Marine... I was going to call it Bolt Action Army, but it's called something else. Boarding action, boarding combat.
Boarding action, yeah.
Boarding. Anyway.
Waterboarding. Yeah, he did some Spatz Marines.
Yes. He's done some characters. He's even given us a list. I don't know how valid that list is because it's been up for 6 days, so potentially GW have released something that makes it null and void by now. Pays your money, takes your chances.
Did they re-release rule books as well? Yes,
I imagine so.
he
But it's
can
interesting
paint if you
seeing-
want.
Yeah, he can. It's interesting seeing him put all his stuff together, though, because intermittently we've seen some of these things sort of appear over the past week / month / years.
Oh, would you look at that nice little mug in the background?
Yeah, Dunkledorf. I've got one of those right there. I can't be arsed. I would, but you know. Golden butt plug, but would that butt plug be a double taco holder? Jesus
Must be.
Christ, butt plug. Brass knuckle one.
Would be boring. Oh, what do I see? What's this?
I think you'll find it's where he has clipped it off the sprue. Don't worry. If you weren't paying attention to an XLBS a few weeks ago, I went through this in great detail, highlighting all of these to him.
Usually when
He
XLBS,
was no happier then, to be fair.
when XLBS is running, I'm usually so tired on Sunday mornings that I barely listen.
As long as you're still taking down notes for me, that's the main thing. At some point, I may need them. You should really be telling me, by the way, you've got this on this date. You have to do this. You said you'd do this. You have to reach out to this person. I still need to get in touch with fucking Dave from the RAF War Games Association.
Dave.
Which I'm now going to have to actually do it by contacting the RAF War Games Association, annoyingly, because I can't remember his fucking web pagey browsery site name at all. It's very annoying. But yeah, Benjamino, he's a talented little cub. With his SPAC Marines all covered in scrolls, all done. Huh?
What really irritates me, it's neither Burrows nor Badgers, nor is it Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I mean, he pulled a sneaky on you, to quote Bob Ross. We all thought it was going to go one way, and then it went the other.
Didn't he complain at one point that all his friends are just playing Warhammer and he can't get them to play anything else?
He's been sucked into that. I won't rant at him because I think he mutes me, to be fair, whenever I'm ranting, and then just waits for my mouth to stop flapping and then just comes in and goes, cool. Very, very cool indeed. And then just moves on with his life. So, I mean, you know, there's no real point.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, mod lines wait for you to prime. They fucking wait. The little shits.
I'll really have to tell you, ever since my wife got me my little magnifying thingamajig,
yes,
I'm hating myself.
Yep. Have you not got wire wool in Germany?
Yeah, but
buff the mod lines away.
I pick up a miniature that's primed and everything looks great, and I put it in front of the lens, and all of a sudden I go, fuck.
Buff him. So, well, we'll wait for him to put transfers on. Maybe he'll fuck them all up when he puts transfers on. That'll be good.
Upside down.
Yeah, we all look forward to that. You know, if you can't reach their level, then drag them back down to yours. That's what I always say.
And beat them with experience.
Yeah. Like fighting with an idiot, that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, the next few projects I especially picked just to see if people will actually follow through on them, because that's all promises for 2023.
It's the naming and shaming time.
Yes.
We'll start our first one.
Got 'em.
Name and shame.
Hobbylog 2023.
Oh dear, Jill. We're all here now. We're all clicking on follow. We're all silently judging you.
After last year's pathetic 2 games played, play more games is the first goal. Well, that seems achievable.
Very achievable.
Play more than 2
games. Do they have
games?
to be real games in person? Or can you cop out by playing games online using something like Universal Battle?
Well, as long as you have to move individual miniatures and the PC doesn't take over the work.
Oh no, Universal Battle is literally just a tabletop.
Yeah,
where
I think
you move everything.
We can allow that.
Real and in
Paint
person only.
complete
Oh,
army
okay.
forces to get them on the table.
Ah.
Yes, my emperor. The 3, finish painting the terrain that is hiding in the cupboard. If terrain starts hiding in cupboards, you might want to call what that's called?
Ghostbuster.
Either those or the pest control.
That would work, yeah. Mold control. No. So I know you say two games played, so you're aiming to get things finished for the table. Have you got specific ones lined up that you're going for, or is it just
take anything that comes along your way?
Well, see what sort of throws itself in front of you. Kings of War. Oh, sweet. I'm working on halflings at the moment. What are you working on? What points? Weirdly, Justin's been talking about ambush quite a lot, but I know the minute I put Kings of War in front of him, he'll get bored and wandered off and look at his Primaris. It's very disappointing. I am the disappointed. Dwarves ambush 750. Oh, sweet. Well, I've put together 130 infantry and 45 cavalry over the weekend for my halflings.
Are those the halflings with a nice rabbit bunny cavalry?
They could be, although technically those belong to one of my 3 other halfling armies for Kings of War. The halfling bunnies work for the League of Rordia. They're actually proxies for humans on demigriff / big mounted beasts. I'm going, yeah, but I've got halflings and I want to put them on bunnies. Fuck yes.
Oh yeah, and as Orinoco Twitch says, don't give Justin anything. It's just going to end up in the bin.
Annoyingly, I give him a load of dwarves whenever I just used to go to the club and he was getting into Kings of War. I give him a load of dwarf badger riders because I have quite a lot of dwarves mounted on boars from Rackham for confrontation that I'm planning on using as my Brock riding fellows, because otherwise I've got no use for them. So the fact that 2 regiments worth of Brock riding dwarves went in the bin, maybe a little twitchy.
Well, didn't he say he didn't really look what's in the box?
No, he just could be arsed. He fucked in the bin. I imagine his fiance probably told him, "There's too much shit around this house. Get rid of that.
Clean up."
Young love, huh?
Yeah, makes you do horrible things.
The badger models are annoying if you're not a fan of the PVC, but you can drop a brick on them and they will survive. So I'm fairly certain they weren't broken.
Or maybe he has covered them in some kind of weird
Oh,
paint.
I don't want to know what he's covered them in. La 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 la. I can't hear you. La 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 la. I don't need another crusty blanket story. La 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 la. Let's go back to talking about Turkish wrestling. So you're greased up and you're in the middle of a ring of men and you're desperately trying to get your hand down the shuck of the arse of another man covered in oil.
And then somebody throws in the yellow crusty blanket.
That's less upsetting than the crusty blanket motif. Anyway.
Let's go on to the next 2023 thingamajig.
The next one who needs to be... See, you say this, but we know he's going to finish it because he's odd like that.
Yeah, Dark Danigan. Or is it Dark Darnigan?
Yeah. However, this is his end of 2022 one, which is interesting if you're thinking about doing it. So this is like a summation of 2022 followed by plans for 2023 and what to look out for. So this is probably a good one, Jill, if you're looking for hints, tips of somebody who's gone through a year and completed their I'm going to do all of this, blah, blah, blah. Because then you can look out for the sort of the pitfalls, the shortfalls, the distractions. Hobby butterfly versus multi-potentially light. It's a hell of a fucking word.
I like his list of blockers, which I totally can get myself behind.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's very good for anybody looking at it and going, I've seen other people do this last year. I fell flat on my face. Can I do it this year? And then, look at it, break it down into the sort of chunks. So, yeah, there's some really interesting things. Like when I was talking with Shay, and Shay was saying there's times where he wants to paint, but he can't because he doesn't have a painting place set up. I think Doug Danigan mentions that in here as well, having a specific workspace or something that you can easily put out without a ton of work, because if you're spending 15 or 20 minutes just setting up an area and then doing 10 minutes of hobby and then spending 15 minutes putting it away again, that's disheartening.
This is a godsend for anybody who has that problem. Just make yourself one of these.
Is that a roll cage?
No,
is
that's
that a hook on the front of your lifter dropper? So you can then fight an alien? What the fuck's going on with that? Why is it going so far back? What are you up to, man?
I'm forklift certified.
Absolutely crazy. Forklift certified indeed.
Now that's so that the light comes from the front of the miniature.
As a sign once said, your triggers are your own affair, Nick. We can't police the world for you, so...
Bearded man in a box. Fair enough.
Also, yes.
Yes, for Faraday cage, very much made out of wood, very effective. Doesn't block signals.
The bestest Faraday cage. But yeah, that's a really, I mean, that project in and of itself, that's completed now. It is just a, what's the word I'm looking for? Preview of 2023, but also a conclusion to 2022. A little
an analysis of
what went on, and I think is probably really helpful. Even if you're not planning on doing something throughout the year, just getting a project to completion in and of itself, regardless of timescale, I think it's a good one to have a look at and see how you can sort of steal his knowledge, eat his excrement to gain his knowledge. Yeah, but I mean, lots of them have Games Workshop logos on them, so they can be discounted right off the bat.
Yeah, true that.
That shelf looks like it's bending under the weight. All shelves do that. The shelves behind me are bending under the weight of the books that they're on, and they're bookshelves. So, I mean, what did they expect was going to go on them, and why do they think that they fucking... Thankfully, they're about 2.5 centimeters fucking thick. Otherwise, they'd have bust a long time ago, I think.
Yeah, that's something that annoys me with most furniture manufacturers. They sell you something that's called a bookshelf, and after half a year, the shelving just goes wonk. I mean, what do they expect me to put on there?
Very light things. I would put expanded EPVC all over.
That's why I'm building my bookshelves out of 1.8 centimeter massive wood.
That's not going to help you, mate. Seriously, mine are. Where's my tape? Did I put that away? Why the fuck would I put that away?
It's not just one flat piece of wood. It's got some sturdying in the back as well. So it's
you should put something back and front.
Yeah,
because then it prevents it. And drilling
the front isn't as problematic as this old.
It's all about because otherwise it will try and bend, and it'll bend to the front.
If you make it too deep, you're correct. But since they're all these paperback formats, the shelvings are very shallow.
Oh, your books are paperback?
Yes.
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh. Safe space?
No, that's all right.
And I think the Shadowrun and Battletech novels back in the day were only in paperback format. So
yeah, but Batten supported box shelving is pretty, and I should do it to some more of the shelves in here, but I can't be arsed.
You should balance planks across the skulls of your enemies. Wobbly but satisfying.
It works, but the problem is trying to get. I mean, I don't know how many twins I've killed now, and none of their skulls are the same size. So I find this whole twin thing to be a bit of a lie in the grand scheme of things. Once you've boiled them and got the flesh off, they're not fucking identical at all. There's always millimeters difference. Your best bet is just to go and just start clubbing random people.
And also, it's very annoying that you can't drink out of their skulls because they have holes and it runs everywhere.
Get a MIG welder and use 1/4-inch steel plate. That would be good. That would be Faraday cage-esque around you.
Would be worth a try.
You know, I'm very trying.
Bugger, if you call it that dark, you haven't been here often enough. We've went far further down the line.
There's nothing wrong with that. Do you know me? Can you box? Shall we move on?
Yes, I think we should.
Speaking of boxings.
Oh, did I leave a comment? Yes, I left a comment. Uglip does a painting pile.
Doing some of the delightful bombs. Yeah, well, you know, who would have thought a list compiled mainly by you, well, exclusively by you, would have contained Star Wars.
Well, that's totally
but
unintentional.
I do like the fact that, you know, you've got bombs there, which is always good. Yeah.
Yeah, and the hovering cards.
Mm.
Which, to me, the hovering cards were the most annoying to paint because I couldn't find any reference pictures.
They're in Series 1 of The Mandalorian. They're in the town. They get used a bit there. I mean, they're probably in other places as well, but, you know.
Similar, but not them exactly. But then again, I was way too deep at that point into being movie accurate. So.
Oh my God! Why would you be bothered with doing that, huh?
One word: German.
A nice cancelled Star Wars game.
Not yet. I guess that will happen sometime around Christmas.
Oh,
after
give it time. Once Star Wars Crisis Protocol has actually been released, because they haven't released it yet. So there's no point in cancelling one when nobody can buy anything else. Once the other one's out, then they can just kill it.
Yeah, and after they've grabbed all the money from the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi coming this fall. See, that's just 20 years ago.
I see. Makes sense. You say this fall, although autumn is the correct term, but December 27th was the 40th anniversary of Empire in Ireland. Because it only came out, you know. I know they've got like May releases in America, but then when you tack on the lead up time before they actually got the film shipped over to here, for Ireland it was December 27th. I know that because it was my parents' wedding anniversary.
Crispin, those are actually official Atomic Mass Games models. It's a set coming with two different miniatures as.
Is that the new Gunray one? I'm trying to remember what they're called. Nemordian?
Battlefield Ordnance, something weird.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
It's Battlefield, pack.
Vital Assets.
But the actual Gunray's race, I think they're Nemordians. Anyway.
There's a female and a male user and some boxes and these mines and the cards. I've got them painted too somewhere in the back. I don't know where I put them.
But I see they're using the boss painted breakdown. I'm trying to remember what that is. What is it? Minis complete, minis boss. So I've seen a few people doing a simpler version. Bjorn from Sweden, Crossing Obstacles, his channel, he just has a very simple, if you buy or print a miniature, it's -1. when you paint the miniature, it's +1. And he's just trying to get to the end of the year and either be 0 or positive.
Good luck with that.
That's the goal. And the first week, 6 days, he went straight to like -84, and has been clawing his way back up. He's -60 something this week. So in 10 or 11 days, he's managed to do like 20 odd miniatures. And he's just trying to pull his way back to the top. But whatever gets you there, I suppose. Whatever gets you there.
So vital assets, judging by a picture I grabbed from a weird site that nobody has ever heard before. See if this works.
Wouldn't have thought so.
See? So there's crates, the 2 miniatures, mines, and
Holy
the
shit
transporting
balls.
things.
Did you click on OTT and did it open?
Yes.
That is fucking madness.
See?
That is, I mean, wow. I don't think any of that was going to happen. I can't believe it.
And that article is from way back when, 2019. So these are 3 years old by now.
3 years old, which means any day now they'll be in stock. Courtesy of Fancy Flight Games / Atomic Mass Games in your local dealership. Asterisks, if you're outside the US, this may not be the case.
Well, I think I haven't bought any minis this year as well, James. Does it count as buying miniatures when you click on miniatures to fulfill your pledge from last year?
Nope.
But technically,
If you've already paid for them.
Yeah,
Nope.
they're all paid.
I got these today, which are nice. Scarab miniatures, a French 37mm trench gun, and a French Hotchkiss heavy machine gun, which I'm quite happy with because I wasn't sure what size Scarab were in comparison. However, for those of you playing along at home, he's kneeling. There's a German. So, Plastic Wargames Atlantic German, and it's probably made me fucking vanish. And a little metal miniature from Scarab, and they are pretty much the same size, so I'm very fucking happy with Scarab. So that's good. You'll see more about those. I thought you were going to see more about those in February. However, as it turns out, they decided to send me all the fucking blood and plunder. So it was like, right, well, we'll leave World War One for a couple of months then. So going to do a load of piratey stuff in Feb instead.
Yeah. And since Mr. Curry is back, we should go on to the next project.
Yep. Sure. Why not? You do you, Megman. You do you. I can't even remember, Damon, who aimed me at Scarab. And I think we featured them on Indie of the Week or not. I can't remember. They may just be on my bookmarks or something else. Anyway, I'd completely fucking blanked that they existed when it came to looking for French. Very weird. So,
Well, at some point, information has to fall off your brain again.
well, I'm like Sherlock Holmes in that respect. I don't know that the Earth revolves around the sun because it doesn't help me solve crimes or some shit.
Bollocks.
I can't remember who it was, Jam. Somebody did, whoever it was, well done, whoever it was. I think I replied to them going, holy shit, I can't believe I forgot about Scarab miniatures, and then immediately went to them and ordered them. And then I got postage notification yesterday and they arrived today. So I've been waiting for them for about 2 weeks. And presumably they had to cast up a set. I can't imagine they keep a huge amount of stock. But with any small supplier like that, I'm quite content to fucking wait until the cows come home.
Oh, look, this is the guy I just glued together the other night.
Baby Yoda.
Yeah, also
and,
him.
Some other fella.
So this is my tub of Legion stuff to be painted. Just all built and not yet even primed.
I mean, I really want to do a lot of Legion. I just can't bring myself to give a fuck about it. I'm probably, whenever they cancel the game and they're selling the stuff off cheap, I'll probably swoop in and buy a load of shit and then just play West End games, Star Wars D6 with it. You know, play a decent game.
And you really have to give it to them. The miniature quality has improved quite a bit, and the fact that you can now use ordinary plastic cement to glue them together also helps the assembly a lot.
I do own Legion, Chris, but weirdly, my core set that I pre-ordered is in next door, and I've not even assembled the miniatures in it because it arrived and then they sent. Actually, no, I pre-ordered mine. They sent a set for us to do something up at the studio, and John and me had to put them together, and then John painted them all in like a fucking day, and then we played some games on camera, and I've never got round to actually assembling mine.
Yeah,
It's just like, I just look at it going, I can't be ours.
Those videos are responsible for me being on OTT.
Yeah, I'm sorry, everyone. I'm really sorry. If we'd known he was stalking us, we wouldn't have done them. Anyway, yes. And also, there's the new Baby Yoda show trailer came out today.
Looking good.
Hey, you know,
Could be worse.
looking like something. It feels very different from the teaser trailer, which felt like it was all going to be on Mandalore, and then this one feels like it might partly be on Mandalore. Who knows?
I like the dark
Conquest.
premise on having, there's going to be something rising.
Yeah. The crossbow models are really nice. They're 100 Kingdoms. Oh, Hazy Boy, you still around? Dry brushing the shadow stuff in Brain Matter Beige? If you are, how did the game go? Did the spires crash you? Filthy 100 Kingdoms. Because I don't know if I've seen the end of that. To be fair, I was having a drink.
James, I'm quite not sure what you're telling me about 28. They are really not big. They're 28.
Well, Dark, we've already been at yours and looking at stuff.
More or less.
Catching up with things. Flow camo beige. It is a superior beige, that is true. I've done a lot of World War I Germans with it recently, so.
Let's see. I've got my measuring stick.
Star Wars Chain of Command. I've a mate of mine got Star Wars Bolt Action, and because I had a load of Star Wars pre-paints, and he bought a load of Stormtroopers, a fuckload of Stormtroopers from Fleabay. We played a bit of that. That wasn't actually bad.
I think my measuring stick's broken, or my eyesight's off by a mile. So this Din Djarin is actually toe to head almost 4 centimeters.
Oh no, the Legion are definitely 32mm minimum. I can't remember what size they say they are. Oh, you won? Oh dear. Oh man. Oh, terrible.
Well,
I left a comment on Star Wars cock. By the way, that's not right, because there's only one cock. It's Call of Cthulhu. So Chain of Command will have to find its own fucking acronym. I left a comment on Star Wars Chain of Command saying it wasn't historically accurate. Stormtroopers can't hit things, and the group wasn't impressed. That's great. Nice.
that reminds me, I need to go on the next Atomic Mass stream and pester him about Epic.
Oh, why not? I mean, let's face it, they're not going to be listening to anybody talking about Star Wars Legion anytime soon.
Okay. So best to give them some ideas with alternative games.
I've suggested taking some time in March and revisiting the Path of Conquest for all the other kids so they can finish their fucking stuff. So
and you can take a week off.
So I can play some fucking Conquest. Well, while they're doing that, I'll build some terrain and stuff, because Conquest is massive. It's like, I know they say 35, but it feels like 40. So Atomic Mass rated games also, yes. So yeah, because I mean if I can push them to finish their first Path of Conquest, I could probably bang out the Greek city-state army while they're doing that. I just go, that's my third one. You can't. Third. You know what that is? You know what that is?
A crusade.
Nope. That's that in brackets. That's what that is.
Wop, 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 wop. So, who are we pestering next?
We did get distracted by Judean stuff, but it's really nice conquest bits and pieces. Not my fault.
Especially not. So, we're going to Horus.
I mean, at $10 a box, it's a fucking bargain. Depending on what they are, you can use them all pretty much in First Blood, the skirmish game. So, yeah. Or if there's something ridiculous like they're orcs, you can use them as ogres or trolls in Kings of War. It's a really, really cheap way of getting Kings of War ogre armies. Just saying, throwing it out there.
Beanie Kniggets.
Yeah, this guy Horus 500, sweating away in Australia, throwing shrimps on the barbie and all that sort of thing. G'day. He'll never see this. It's fine. He did another spectacular 2022 project where it was like, I'm just going to paint the fucking world, and he decided to continue kicking things off in 2023 in an annoying way with painted models. At least he's got them on proper square bases though, so God bless. Bertrand Lebrigand and his merry men. Yes.
Just look at them.
Yeah, it's great. I still have a set of, I want to say 20 or 24 Bretonnian halberdiers from that period that joined my Dogs of War army, because I had a Border Princes Dogs of War army I was theming. And then also my mounted squires to use as my light cav were from the Bretonnian range there. And the Perrys, I mean, we all know the Perrys only made that Bretonnian range because they wanted 100 Years' War French. That is the only reason that Bretonnian range exists. They wanted them, they did them, bush bash bosh. In some respects, I'm really annoyed I give my army to a kid at my gaming club. In other respects, I'm not, because there was a bunch of kids all joined together, and most of them were like posh kids, and then there was one sort of gritty kid like me, working class. Mum and Dad didn't have a load of money to piss up the wall, and it was just like, you know what army do you like? Bretonnians, here you go. And I dropped 4,000 points of Bretonnians on him, pretty much the complete range, all in metal, and he loved it. Fucker, he knows if he stuck with it, probably not. But it was great. It was great for a brief flourishing moment of time. All the rich kids could go suck my plums. Oh, cookie skate whore.
Oh no, we're being invaded. Oh,
look at that. It's one of those raids what I hear about. a Twitch raid with Shadow Legends or something.
Can you show us your beard? Beard is mandatory for admission.
Yeah, 2 units of Pistoliers, 2 units of Outriders, all metal. I mean, and all in like black enameled armor. If that's not just pure sex, I don't know what is.
Yeah,
I need to go back and do a Renaissance fucking army for something. I need to start playing the Renaissance. Look how good they are.
You could go Warhammer Old World.
Fuck you.
Workshop.
I can't even believe you brought that up in front of me. In front of my Kings of War halfling army. Fuck's sake. Kings of War where they keep doing concept art. No, it's not concept art. It's the same fucking countries and armies that existed for the last 40 years, you pricks. It's hardly concept art. Go fuck yourself. Also, why have you decided to do it in a completely different fucking time period? And also, why have you not gone and just used a rule system that already exists? Why have you decided to cobble together one, presumably using the worst bits of every edition they could find, so people can't use the books they already have?
Yes.
That's why.
You can sum it up with one word. Money.
Gobshites.
Indeed. I think there's one or two more in the... no, one more. We have one more.
Outriders fucked you in the last battle. I mean, Outriders with repeater handguns, I can understand why. Because they just rumbled forward and then just went... as they just rifled off units. Fucking strength 4 -2 armor save, black powder weapons. Brrp, brrp, brrp. Great. Fucking great. I
Gun
miss my
goes
Empire so much.
boom.
I'm going to go and do my League of Roadry now because they're based on my Empire army. I'll fucking bunny somebody up to fuck. Anyway, yep. Well
Yes.
done, him.
Let's go to the last for tonight. And this is a weird one, I think. Dan Lee, never heard
Dan
of her.
Lee,
Doing stuff.
the 2023 Race Against Raging Heroes, which is an interesting one where they're attempting to beat the monthly Patreon. I mean, I don't think that's possible because I've seen their Patreon and it's like, we're going to throw so much stuff at you that you're never going to be able to fucking walk away from this.
I think they said they wanted to do at least one of every monthly, so that's a
single model. I mean, compared to what they did last year with the Hobby Bingo, that's going to be a bit mental.
It's going to be interesting if they can keep up.
Outriders and Reichsguard. The best Empire combo going. Oh, yeah. I mean...
He's off to a good start.
I do miss my Imperial Dwarves, Imperial Halflings, and Imperial Ogres. I will say that. Just saying. No, stop it. You've set me off on one.
Oh, he can't print all the models from 1 month's release in less than 31 days. Well, that's a limiting factor.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's pretty much how that one goes. But kicking things off with Thor, which is an interesting looking fellow, I have to say. There's a lot going on there. He looks like something out of Marvel Crisis Protocol or
Almost.
Star Wars Crisis Protocol, depending how you're feeling. I mean, there's lots of jaggedy bits everywhere. It's kind of cool. I like it.
What was that thing called? Shatterpoint. Yeah, I almost forgot the name.
But just call it Star Wars Crisis Protocol. Everybody knows what it is. You can't call it Shatterpoint. Mace Windu isn't in it, for fuck's sake.
Well, at least not yet.
Why the fuck would they call it? Why would they name a whole system after
A comic.
Mace Windu's vapid style of Force lightsaber fighting and not have fucking Mace in the box set? Fuck's sake.
Because they don't know what they're doing. Simple as that.
God, they do know what they're doing. They're
Well,
attempting to remove Star Wars Legion. Because Star Wars Legion requires many, many prints of stuff. I mean, if you're selling a box at £25, or you can sell one figure at £25, which one costs less to manufacture?
also, this is the new rulebook for Legion.
For Legion?
Yeah, just released yesterday.
Oh, you should all print that and spiral bind that fucker, because Christ knows when that's going away.
So the
Probably get it earlier.
the original rulebook was 31,
They probably didn't know that Shatterpoint existed, to be fair, Dutch.
was 31 pages, and this is 59.
Right. I mean, is it just because they put a load of keywords in?
No, they went out of the way to do a lot of explaining on how rules work, and yeah.
Oh, to stop metagamers who have gone, well, you don't say that Darth Vader can't float up the board and electrocute everyone, so I'm going to assume he can.
This is the order of turn.
Holy shit.
Indeed.
Because I thought it was draw token from bag.
Basically, that,
Oh, no, pick card, play card, draw token from bag. Continue.
basically it's still that, but people have been very annoyed about the actual how you resolve any conflicts, who goes first where, and all that shit. Yeah, keywords are 20 odd pages. And the weirdest edition are these. These are silhouettes you need to hold in front of your miniature to determine if there's line of sight.
Weirdly, I was looking at infinity silhouette things today up at the studio when I was playing one of the Stalingrad campaign games against Shay. I was going, oh yeah, I remember these. I remember how other companies have started bringing them in. I was going, can we use these can we use the set of Infinity silhouettes for other games? Because there's a couple of games using them now.
Yeah.
Obviously, Atomic Mass used them for the now defunct Star Wars Legion, already on its way out. And Mantic used it for Dead Zone as well.
Also 5 pages of point adjustments for units, so this is going to be fun.
Everybody uses Admiral anyway, so nobody cares.
I don't.
Really?
No.
I
use
use
a
Admiral
pencil.
because I can't be arsed buying all the fucking boxes.
I use a pencil.
I would if I had all of the stats, but I don't have all the stats because I don't have all the cards. I've got a lot of miniatures from other games, mind you, that I can use.
So
just play West End Games Star Wars D6, mate. You'll be much happier.
Here's my
Everything's
Rebels.
in one book.
And here's my Empire.
Ooh. What color folder is that in?
An A5.
It's a nice black folder for your Empire and a red one for the Rebels.
Yes. And the big one is for all the small cards. All the
fuck
cards.
my hat.
This is what came since inception of the game.
Well, you know.
I'm still loving it.
Oh, well, you know.
It's a very much hate-love relationship.
Yeah. Do you get a chance to play it much at all, ever? I know occasionally you'll go to like a tournament that's run, but is that like, are you on 2 games a year Jill style at the moment?
To be quite frankly honest, the last 2 years I've played 0 games.
Fucking tackle him! Sorry.
We didn't have that for a long time.
That well, you know, because I've been leading for most of this match, and now in the last 10 minutes they want to throw it away again, and if they do, this glass is getting winged off a wall because I'm not in the mood.
Coming back to a question, on Thursday I will be playing game again with my mate who owned the friendly local game store.
Oh, that's cool. That works.
So, I'm not sure if we both will agree to play after the old rules, because that's the last time we played, or if we want to work ourselves through the new ones.
God bless him. Yeah. Was there a Wii game? Yeah, God, yeah. Oh, the Star Wars D6 is not currently in this room. Where is it? Oh, it's in next door because I was nosing at it. Yeah, the D6 game is cracking. And remember those? I've got little 25mm minis that look like they're 20mm because everything's so fucking smaller nowadays. They were all made. They weren't just made for the RPG. They were actually made for the tabletop game because using miniatures in RPG is wrong. Which means you could play. I mean, it was very much. I'm not going to say of its time, but it was very 40K-esque. You know, you were using a small amount of heroes and squads. You weren't using massive armies on the tabletop. You know,
also, they were pre-painted, weren't they?
Oh, fuck no. No, it was all LEDs.
Wasn't there a pre-painted miniatures range?
Oh, the pre-painted stuff. Fuck off, Nabby. You're not even signing a new contract. I don't care if you're injured. Go back, Neves, and stamp on him. I don't mind if you do. He's a prick. Fucking 11 assists and 6 goals in 5 years. You've cost us too much. You're a gobshite. The Star Wars D20 from Wizards of the Coast, who are one of the best companies out there. I mean, they're super amazing. Who do everything they can to promote the hobby and help other companies. They did a blind buy system of pre-painted 28mm figures, and they're not bad. I've got Rake of Sith and Old Republic stuff, and Mandalorians. Fuck, have I got so many Mandalorians, and a load of Sith creatures and other bits. Yeah, I've got weird shit because they did lots of stuff over the years. Essentially, it was Magic the Gathering, but with Star Wars figures.
So what were you talking about with Wizards of the Coast?
The pre-painted Star Wars stuff.
Being all a good company and
great. Oh, they're amazing, fantastic. Can't get enough of them. They've done no wrong. They're like the Games Workshop of role-playing games. They're a beacon a beacon for hobbyists everywhere who want to play their hobby their way. But the West End Games miniatures game was 25mm LEDs. It was great. And, it was one book. It was everything you fucking need. You may have to go ahead and make stuff, vehicles, bunkers, whatever, because we're never going to be able to produce those in LED. You have
James,
a fat
I
Java.
don't think you can rank FFG and AMG individually since they both are owned by the same company.
I mean, can we though? Rank Wizards, FFG, and AMG. I mean, I think currently, obviously, Wizards doing all they can do, being all they can be with their open gaming license. I think they're probably going to have to come in. I mean, I want to say last. It's a hard fight between those three companies as to which is the worst, to be brutally honest.
The thing
FFG absolutely should not have been making any miniatures games. They didn't have the production, they didn't have the distribution, and they couldn't give a fuck about any of it. So they should never in a million years, but because they already had the Star Wars license for the board games and the RPGs, Asmodee just went, yeah, fuck it, go nuts. And they managed to fuck over multiple people multiple times because they did that Rune
Quest?
No, Rune Quest is a good game. Rune Wars. Rune Wars only exists to see whether or not they had the production capabilities and manufacturing to actually produce models, because they hadn't, beyond making tokens for their games. It's the only reason Rune Wars exist. So then they went, yep, great, we can do that. So now we're going to do a Star Wars one, and immediately stopped supporting Rune Wars. So anybody who got into that got fucked. Then obviously Asmodee looked at them and went, you are shit at miniatures games. I'll give it to AMG. And so FFG just went back to just transporting cocaine all the time, which meant Atomic Mass Games were then handed these games that they hadn't worked on. And they looked at this and went, I mean, we spent a lot of time fucking Privateer Press over to make sure we could do Marvel, and now you're giving us Star Wars, which we weren't really expecting to have. How about we fuck over the Star Wars community by immediately turning our attention to making a Marvel Star Wars version of Crisis Protocol at a bigger scale with different things. I mean, all three of those companies are cunts. I would say fuck them all, to be brutally honest. If you're not already, if you're not, life depends on playing these games and buying their stuff week in, week out. If nobody's holding a child hostage or beating you to make sure you do it, I would just fucking kick them to the curb and just go and download fucking one-page rules and play it. It's a really simple game. It works well. It's easy to pick up. They've enough fucking armies there, and it's all free. I hate all three of them. They're all cocks. Utter cocks. What Wizards of the Coast did was completely shit, mind you. And I don't know how many people are big role players and have read a lot of stuff about it, but it was complete horse shit. And then after we filmed The Weekender, they came out with more horse shit. Mm-hmm. My favorite of all horse shitness was whenever they went, we rolled a one. Oh, we put this draft together because we wanted to see what people wanted, because we wanted feedback. It's not a fucking draft. The fucking CEO of Kickstarter posted, we've come up with a really good fucking deal for you guys. They're only going to take 20% of your money instead of 25% if you crowdfund through Kickstarter and not Game Founder Backer Kit. So they've already fucking done the deal with Kickstarter. So that's not a fucking draft because that's written into it. The companies who were sent it to sign it, and it would go into force on the 13th of January. That's hardly a fucking draft if it started on the 13th of January, only because nobody fucking signed it, and they all went, you know what, this is horseshit, and fuck yous, Wizards. But the barefaced fucking slap in the face cheekiness of them to come out and go, oh, we wanted the feedback, we're still going ahead with it, but you were worried about the royalty thing, so we're taking that out. Balls, fucking balls. I hope it ruins your company.
And then they started upping the price on D&D Beyond.
Oh, D&D Beyond. That is the only reason it stopped. Somebody started a campaign called D&D Be Gone, and there's been no official confirmation, but somebody working for D&D Beyond was saying the only way you could... People were cancelling their subscription and requesting their account be deleted. People who've been there for day one and were paying a fortune, not just because they've like different levels going from Eurosoccer right up to you're paying for all your mates. And to delete your account, you had to submit a ticket. An insider was saying, since Wizards took over D&D Beyond and getting ready for fucking MMO RPG digital world for 6th edition with D&D 1, what they did was they got rid of all their customer service staff. They cut them down to like fucking the bare bones. So they've got barely anybody doing it, and then all of a sudden they got sunk with 1 million tickets. I say 1 million tickets. The unofficial count is it's 5-digit figure of tickets waiting for people to go in and delete their accounts. And it was at that point where Wizards shat themselves and went, we've really fucked this. We fucked this really badly. Quickly, crisis meeting time. Call off the announcement on Friday that we're releasing a new OGL, and then like 3 days later came up with that fucking shit stain nonsense.
Our expectations were low, but boy did you disappoint.
No, it was not. As I said in the XLBS, it wasn't a leak. The people had done it and they were on an NDA. That prevented them from talking about it until like the week before it was due to kick in. And the week before it was due to kick in, then they fucking announced it and went, this is horseshit and we're not signing it. It's just been
now the internet is
fucking
burning.
ridiculous. Oh, it's been great. Fuck them. Fuck them and the horse they rode in on, which is a horse that you can buy a skin for in your new D&D 1 account for only $9.99 because it's all based on digital microtransactions. D&D were planning to never sell a physical book again within the next 2-3 years, but the idea would be that all of you would just be buying your thing, and if somebody wants to see all the money you've spent on your guild house, then they would have to obviously get in there and also be members, and you'd all have to be paying the money. And why else would you be getting that awesome shield design? Oh, I've just picked up a Sword of Incineration. Well, I can buy this great flaming sword fucking motif for my character for only £5. This is great.
What annoys me the most is that we're calling companies shite, but there's still people working there who really are just in for the passion, and I feel sorry for those people.
But none at the top. The people who are making all these decisions are the ones who looked at it and went,
the top
we
level,
can make some money out of this.
Yeah, those people who are making all the money are just greedy bastards.
Aye. $1 billion dumpster fire. The best part about it, bugger off. They paid $147 million to buy D&D Beyond to use it as the basis for D&D 1, their online digital wank. And then that was part and parcel of why they were stopping anybody else from doing a virtual tabletop, because they needed to recoup that money. Then after sacking all the staff, oh, you bastard.
What timing?
Oh, two would have fucking been the nail in the coffin with fucking 1 minute to go. Anyway, so they wanted to force everybody to use D&D Beyond. So then they sacked all the fucking staff who were doing anything vaguely customer relation wise, and are paying a fuckload of money to programmers and the back end people to make sure it's all ready. So by all accounts, there's something like 200 odd back-end coders and programmers and that sort of thing working exclusively to get D&D 1 ready. So they paid a fortune for it, and then good man, Kevin, you mad bastard, you. And then they're paying a ton of money at highly specialized technical staff to actually 5 minutes time added on. You get your watch referee, you prick. So they've sunk hundreds of millions into this currently, and they need to recoup that money.
I'm not
this
sure
is one of
they
the
will
reasons
be
why they're
able
hardline.
to recover from that ever again.
Oh well, as one senior executive / manager at Wizards put across to his staff. The idea is that the feedback is just a flash in the pan. Give it a month or so, people will forget why they were annoyed, and then they can push it all through anyway, exactly the same as it was before. And he's right. Unless people actually stick with the current plan and not go near Wizards, actually just go, you know what, fuck yous, we're going to play Pathfinder, we're going to play any other open source game, we're going to play RuneQuest or Dragon Bane or whatever it is. If people keep playing D&D, then what's going to happen is they will push the OGL changes through, they'll shut other people down, and then there'll be GW but for RPGs. Which is, I mean, they've seen GW and thinking, fuck me, we should have hammered these people beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the main trouble with today's rage.
Remember
culture.
the GW boycott?
People
I think I may be napping for the 20 minutes that happened.
Yeah, people going all bonkers just for 5 seconds, and then there's the next distraction. I know, Nick, I'm not typing. I was just having a wee bit of a sucky. I'm not subscribed to
I mean,
Thingamajig.
I have a friend who's a big fan of Pathfinder, and runs a lot of Pathfinder games, Curtis. And I know he'll continue to do it. I don't like the D20 system. Rolling one dice is a shit system for me because we've all seen how my dice rolls work. I need a percentile-based system with a D100 and a spread of numbers if I have ever a chance of ever completing anything ever, which is why the Cock is the best of all RPGs ever made. But after seeing how they were actually putting it together, the ORC, if you're unaware, the Open Resource Creative License, I think is what it is. So it's the ORC, the ORC. And Piazzo or Paizo, or however the fuck it's pronounced, essentially are going, we don't own this, we're putting it together with other companies, but we're going to pay the legal fees to set it all up with that law company, and nobody will hold it. So it will be completely separate from any company. You're going, fair fucks to you. Because Wizards fucked themselves at 4th edition when they put out 4th edition, and immediately they did the open gaming license for 3rd. Loads of people went, this is great. And then they immediately went, new edition, we're not doing it under the open gaming license, we're doing it under the general specific legislation. The GS, it was something stupid. Anyway, they immediately dropped the OGL for their own product, thinking everybody would come with them and leave all these fucking nerds playing their old game behind. And then everybody went, what's this horse shit? This is the worst game I've ever seen. This is some sort of miniatures-based piece of cack. Is your name Games Workshop? At which point, everybody just started using the OGL, and Paizo ended up releasing Pathfinder to keep people playing all of their shit that they were producing and loads of other people. And then Wizards went, oh, fuck, we done goofed. And immediately dropped their new GSL and went back to the original OGL, and then brought out 5th edition, which is just Pathfinder 2.0. So fuck them. Fuck them in their stupid asses. I hope they get a prolapse status.
That's a very, very tempered sentiment.
Oh, what have you got from Shield Wolf? Jesus Christ, lads, have we had a fucking attack in the last half hour?
The thing with RPG and D&D especially, I think it will be much easier for
How the fuck do you call that back? He fucking kicked it into him from this fucking far.
I think RPG players will have a much easier time keep playing their old games. Because usually those are groups that are together, so...
You're a cocksucker, ref. Yeah, I mean, well, it depends. It's not the current players which will be the issue, because the current players see the shitstorm and go, you absolutely have no respect for your fan base at all. It will be the people who come into the game. And how many times has role-playing been described as, it's Dungeons and Dragons, even when it's not. What are you playing? Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. What's that? It's Dungeons and Dragons. It's fucking not. They bear no resemblance whatsoever to each other. However, it's the easiest way of describing it to somebody just starting into the hobby. And I was listening to yes. I was listening to one bloke explain how he only started in 2012, and he started during 4th edition. And the guy at the local game store was going, "Pathfinder's great." And the bloke went, "What?" And he went, "I really want to get into role playing." "Yeah, Pathfinder. Dungeons and Dragons." "Well, not many people are playing Dungeons and Dragons." It's like, Dungeons and Dragons. I've heard of Dungeons and Dragons. I want to buy Dungeons and Dragons. So he went home with the books for D&D, started it, kind of enjoyed it, and then ended up joining another group who were just playing Pathfinder. I'm just going, this is a much better game. But it's the same with miniature wargaming and with role-playing games. The big names in the industry suck new players into them, despite how god-awfully garbage they are. And however the amount of new players who've been bent over the painting table and roughly fucked from behind without even the common courtesy of a reach around or lubricant is not funny. I mean, there have been some bleeding assholes, and yet they sit there and take it. They're like abused fucking partners. It's the only time they've ever been shown love or attention, and so they'll take it. They'll take it up the ass every time. They'll take it from GW and they'll take it from Wizards of the Coast because I've always taken it from them. It's great. Oh no, it's really good. Oh, you say I should run off to a battered shelter and see these people Paizo who'll take care of me. But they say they love me really. I can't leave them. They need me. That is what those companies are.
The sad thing is you're way too close to the truth for most people. It's just horrible.
Yeah, it's appalling. It's shocking, and yet people will just go, you just hate on them. It's fashionable to hate on them. No.
Yeah, but basically the hobby space is held hostage by major companies, and when some YouTube channels say they're going to make a break from Games Workshop miniatures and just use indies, I know they mean well, but I also know it won't go anywhere because people won't click. Simple as that. As long as people shove their money up Games Workshop and Wizards of the Coast's rear end, nothing's going to change. Voting with your wallet is the only way to get things changed.
Jill, I've seen it now. It's difficult to put actual numbers on things, but I seen one guy from inside Wizards who was saying when 3.5 launched, and they thought it was the best launch ever, it got kind of overshadowed by Pokemon, which came out the same year and is to date the biggest selling game in nerd tabletop gaming ever. Even Games Workshop can't compete with Pokemon. It's just ridiculous. So that overshadowed 3.5, which is one of the reasons why the OGL and everything else was kind of ignored, and then 4th happened because they wanted to try and get some money out of the back of it. But when 3.5 was running, they reckoned Wizards had like a 35% share of the RPG market. In the intervening years, from 3.5 and the OGL launching to 5th edition launching, 4th edition had sunk Wizards so fucking badly. They just couldn't give a fuck about D&D. And during that time, the OGL built up this massive fan base of people who were playing Dungeons and Dragons, but under different names and different things. So when 5th launched, everybody already knew how to play 5th. People who had never bought a D&D book bought into 5th edition because it was using the same game system. And apparently, from the launch of 5th now, their market share is about 85% of the RPG market. That 50% was gained through the OGL. So for them, they're currently sitting going, we fucking own the world, which is why they thought they could do this. I think it will, the 6th edition, and they're not even going to call it 6th edition. I think the whole idea behind D&D 1 is it is just now forever the edition that it will be going forward from next year when they launch it. But I think the idea is that they would just do it and run with it and just own the world. But the I think the harm will come between now and when they launch, if they've screwed the community so badly that some other people actually manage to get a foothold and take people away from the idea that here's our stuff and you can use it with D&D, to here's our stuff, you can use it with all these other companies except D&D. That's the way to fuck Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah. Even some, you brought up video games and the indies there. You're not wrong, but at the same time, you can have multiple video games parallel and not go broke.
Oh yeah, but for every good indie game that people go, this is amazing, there's like 20 absolute hot garbage shit
or 200
games, or 200 or more. Yeah, I mean for every Frambo or Little Misfortune, there's Blasphemous. I don't know. To be fair, I don't play computer games. It's amazing I managed to get 3 named there that are probably indie developers, although it'll probably turn out that one of them is massive. Anyway.
Wow. So, I think...
I mean, I would love them just to stop playing D20 systems because it's a shit dice for shit people. It is. The Romans ruled it. They were all pricks.
And what did they bring us, the Romans?
What did they do for us? They never mentioned that in Monty Python, did they?
I don't think so. They should
polyhedral. Anyway.
So, with that said, I think we have a
Dungeon Saga Origins.
A very lovely...
Yeah, nice gentle meander.
Yes.
Happy January, people, because I haven't seen you cats since last year.
Happy New Year,
yeah.
Indeed.
Likewise, many more of them to you.
Of course, this is all going to YouTube, Dutch.
To YouTube,
will not separate the Jerry rant.
YouTube loves it whenever people talk, because otherwise how else would they put up adverts of shampoo or Airbnb or whatever it is? All the people advertising on this video are neo-Nazis. They all support genocide. A lot of them are actually involved in genocide in Rwanda right now.
I've never seen any of my videos actually having videos on it.
But just in case, it's important that people know if anybody has appeared advertising in the middle of your viewing of this, they support whatever genocide is currently ongoing. Ukraine, Africa, Middle East and beyond. China. They support the massacre of the Uyghurs. So,
yeah.
Slava Ukraine.
We will see you a lot next week, I hope. Have fun on Thursday on the stream from that one dude and the other white beat. Cookie dough without beard. I'll be playing...
Paul and Dave.
I will be playing Star Wars Legion.
Oh, well, you do, you.
Yes.
That's
and then, already week. Goodbye.